Hello, and today we're going to be looking at the GI Joe Headquarters Command Center and the Action Force Z-Force Command Center. Now, the GI Joe Headquarters Command Center was released in 1983, and in 1984, the Action Force Z-Force Command Center was released. Now, if you're not aware, the Action Force toy line was created by Plaitoy in the UK, and they used lots of GI Joe figures and vehicles and repainted them to fit their own toy line and the storyline. If you're interested in what other repaints Action Force did of the GI Joe line, then there'll be a link to all repaints in the description of this video to a page on my website. So to start with, I just want to pan around both of the command centers, and straight away you can see that the boxes are totally different and the color schemes for both of the toys are very different. The GI Joe box has used concept art on the front, showing lots of characters and lots of things that the base can do. The Action Force box isn't as exciting, it's just showing the toy. As you can see by looking at both of these toys, they all have exactly the same parts, they're just different colors. The various small parts with the GI Joe set are green, and the small parts that came with the Action Force set are red. Now, the big difference between these sets is that with the Action Force set, you've got two free figures. And those figures are Gaucho, who's a repaint of Gung Ho, and Jammer, who's a repaint of Stalker. GI Joe playsets and vehicles usually came with free figures. So it's strange that in this case, the GI Joe Command Center didn't come with any figures, the Action Force one did. Gaucho and Jammer are actually very hard to come by nowadays. The smaller parts for the play sets were all the same, except for the colour and some minor differences. If we look at the flags, you can see that the American GI Joe version has the American flag and the GI Joe symbol, whereas the Action Force flag shows all of the teams, Z-Force, SAS, Q-Force and Space Force on both sides. Different stickers were used on the play sets. The control console is a really good example of this. If we look at the GI Joe version, you can see pictures of the Mobat tank, you can see the Dragonfly, Cobra Commander, and also Scarlet. On the Action Force version, you can see members of the Z-Force team, you can see Baron Ironblood and some of the Red Shadows, you can see a Shadow Track tank, and you can also see a Hyena and Laser Exterminator. The control panels show the different enemies and the different vehicles that were available in the toy lines. Other accessories are also different, and you can see the difference in colour on the cell doors here as an example. The Action Force versions were black, whereas the GI Joe versions were grey. The colours of the main buildings are obviously very different. GI Joe decided to keep theirs silver grey colour, like in the cartoon. The Action Force was the green associated with the Z-Force Action Force team. The GI Joe Command Center looks very much like the Command Center shown in the cartoons because of the colour scheme. The nice silver looks very much like the one we see in the opening credits for the cartoon.
So it's a little bit more true for the cartoons. You've got the helipad that went on the outside, but many people would put it on top of the prison so the helicopter could land on it and helicopter could access the base in that way. Put that back. The same went for the helicopter with the Action Force set. You can see that there's different stickers and different patterns on that helipad. As you move into the base, you can see that there's a front gun here. If I take this off, you can see that the gun moves from side to side and also moves up and down. Different colour to the Action Force one, which was just plain black. To the left of it, you've got the flag. It's got the American flag on one side, and then if I turn it round, you can see the GI Joe flag, honour, duty and courage, which is right there. You've got the sort of anti-aircraft gun here, just like the Action Force set, no pegs, but the figure would hold the anti-aircraft gun and basically be held in place there so it wouldn't fall over. You've got all these parts which are the same, just in a different colour to the action set. You've got the spotlights, which are green. They have clips on the bottom, just like the guns, but these clips are notorious for breaking, so it's a lot of them have blue tack on them from years ago now, where they would have still been played with. Moving into the base to the left, as we look at it, you can see that there's the garage maintenance area. If I pull this at the back, you can see that that raises up, so any vehicle or Jeep can be repaired on there. And it says elevator up. If you put it down, then it just moves down like that. As I move across, we've got the weapon storage. If I open that flap, you have two trays in the back here. They open up, and on the bottom you've just got the table. You can see through to the table. I think this was a really good idea because loads of weapons have been lost over the years, as I'm sure all the collectors are aware of. And you've got two holes here, so you've got the radar there, but you could also fit the flag there if you wanted to, so you've got some different options there. The control panel, again, you've got different coloured seats to the Action Force one. You've got the brown ones there, and you've got black ones there. The top screen slides down like that and opens up. As you look, it's got sort of a bit of a cartoon on the top with a tank firing at what looks like Cobra troopers. You've got a picture of the Apache there, Dragonfly. You've got Cobra Commander. You've got Scarlet. You've got some more stickers here and a map. As we move across, you can see this is the tank area, so a tank would fit. I've got a Z-Force battle tank to demonstrate how that works. The Z-Force battle tank moves in like that, and then the barrel points out of the hole. That's obviously a Z-Force one, not the GI Joe version. Under here, you can lift this up and store file cards underneath. When I bought this, I was hoping there might be some, but sadly not. As we move across to the jail, you can see that the jail, all the bars and things are a different colour to the Action Force one. Again, it's all black. You can see that the vehicle maintenance lift and the file card holder, they're all a different colour to the Action Force Command Center, which is again all black. So the jail is really hard to get all in one piece. It's very sort of flimsy and falls out of place a lot. This one I found loads of blue tack on the ends where somebody had the idea to try and keep it in place. This has just fallen off again, which is pretty standard for the jail. The hardest parts to get on these jails are the door parts. You can see that this is the main door, and that pin is often always missing. I mean, I've got a way to fix that, but it's nice to have a whole one. And you can see that that holder there holds that peg. So when you put the door in, and the bottom peg goes in that hole on the ground. So the idea is that that will open and close, like so. It's got a little holder there that keeps the door closed. In reality, it's a flimsy jail. It's and if it was stuck in place, it would be a lot better. It's just the same as the Action Force version. It's flimsy. The back always seems to drop back, so it doesn't fit. It's really looks good on the set, but it just needs to really be stuck if you want to keep it in place. And as a collector, I'm not going to super glue it all up together, unfortunately. So coming from the other side, if we look at the gun from this side, you can see that there's a control panel with some targets on there. And you see the back of with the stairs that lead up, some computer panels, some stickers. This cover lifts up, and you've got like an engine and a generator underneath. Inside, you've got weapons racks. You can see the hole where the tank barrel goes out. You've got these sort of panels that hold it all together. Some more panels here. And you've got another weapons rack here. This one's missing the stickers, unfortunately. And I can show you from this angle how the gouge goes up, like so. You can see the back of the spotlights and everything. You can see that the colour scheme, therefore, is just totally different to the Action Force Command Centre. Some would argue that it looks more like a command centre should, all modern and shiny and silver, kind of like in the cartoon, whereas the Action Force Command Centre almost looks like it's camouflaged, like it needs to hide, which wasn't really the case, I guess, but I don't know. I'd be interested to know what you think of the colour schemes. Moving on to the box, I do much prefer the GI Joe Headquarters Command Centre box to the Action Force one. The GI Joe one just has an awesome cartoon. It's showing all of the main characters in the base. Funny enough, you've got Stalker there, and you've got Snake Eyes, Breaker, Gung Ho. You've got Doc. You've got Flash. You've got the Dragonfly helicopter. You've got a nice picture here as well, showing the tank and all the other vehicles inside the GI Joe headquarters. You've got the Dragonfly helicopter. Really shows how it can be used with all the figures, and it looks absolutely awesome with all the figures in play. If I turn the box around, you've got a much bigger picture than the one that was on the front. Shows you where to store the file cards. Shows you with the seats and the command console. Shows you where you can store all of the weapons. Shows you where you can put imprisoned Cobra enemy figures. The mechanics lift. Walls for gun racks. And the generator cover. And this is a lovely picture showing all the different vehicles that you can put in, all the characters there. And showing how they can be used with the set. Double devastation cannon pivots in all directions. The GI Joe Mobile Strike Force Headquarters contains the US Army's top secret weapon systems. Use your collection of GI Joe vehicles, weapons and figures in the command center to help battle the evil army of Cobra Commander. The sides just has a picture of the headquarters. So moving over to the Action Force Command Center, you can see straight away it's in a completely different colour to the GI Joe Command Center, which we've just looked at. And you'll notice a figure straight away, Gaucho, now one of the most rare figures you can get in the Action Force line.
He came in the most expensive playset, and so many kids just wouldn't have got him because the playset was too expensive. You can also see Jammer, who's got the Z-Force logo on his chest. He's a repaint of the original Stalker, but again, a sought after figure because he only came with this expensive set.
I think it was totally right that two figures came with this set because it is a huge set, and if you're paying for the most expensive set at the time, you'd want some figures to come with it. So I think, yeah, Action Force Command Center probably get some points for the two figures. You've got the flag on the left. This, I believe, is the same on both sides. You've just got the Action Force logo, some pictures of soldiers, and then you've got the Z-Force logo top left, SAS, then the Q-Force, and then the Space Force on the bottom left. The four, good guy teams that fought the Red Shadows. You've got all of the red coloured items, exactly the same as the GI Joe ones, just in a different colour. They're a bit of a nightmare to get, as are the GI Joe ones really, because they just break so easily. As we come down, you can see the tank bay is the same as the GI Joe one. We've got some stickers in here. The GI Joe set would have had stickers as well, it's just that my set doesn't have those stickers. On this section, this part actually can be removed, and you can store things underneath. Ideally it was file cards for GI Joe. You had file cards for Action Force, not as big, but they would fit under there. We've got the radio and computer console here with jammer. You can see that the stickers are different. The stickers have actually got Z-Force and red shadows in. You've got silhouettes of enemy vehicles here in red shadows. There you've got Baron Ironblood. You've got some more pictures of him and Z-Force soldiers all around there. As we go into the prison, you can see it's the same as the GI Joe, just in different colours. It's all sort of black. Radar dish there as well is also in red, as opposed to the GI Joe one. Again, exactly the same as the GI Joe jail. This is flimsy and difficult to find and damaged, but it needs to really be stuck in place for it to be totally effective. Here you've got the same, you've got the weapons racks on both sides. You can see the stickers that would have come with this set. And again, by lifting up this, you can see the platform raises. So in this section, the panther can go up and the wheels go in the divots. And then that's pulled back. And the panther gets locked in position, so repairs can be done. And the gun can also look over the wall and shoot. So coming at it from the back view, we can see where the gun is here with Gaucho's back. And then you've got stairway and some computer panels, some stickers here. And then again, just like the GI Joe headquarters, you've got the cover for the generator there. You've got the large H for the helicopter landing pad there. And you've also got the weapon storage, just like the GI Joe HQ. Looking at the box, as I previously said, I think the box is bland in comparison to the GI Joe one. GI Joe one's a lot more attractive, but back when Action Force was huge in the UK and Europe, I guess it wouldn't have had a massive effect, because if you love these toys, you're going to love this item too. On the side, you've got pictures of all the products that you can get, all the recoloured GI Joe vehicles, and you've also on the side panels got all the functions of the base. So the guns revolve and elevate, you've got the jail, you've got the helicopter landing pad, the working ramp, tank bay, and the two figures included.
Here's some better pictures of the Action Force box. You can see it's just showing the toy with all parts and the figures. Unlike the GI Joe box, it doesn't show all the action-packed stuff going on. On one side, it's even got a BMX advert, which is a bit strange, but it's a popular toy line, so you can see where they want to advertise other things on it. The sides of the boxes just show what the playset could do and what functions it had, and they were the same on the left and right, and top and bottom they were matching. So I've shown you both command centers, and I'll pan around again just to show you both sets in all of their glory. They're really tough sets to get. The GI Joe command center is hard to get in Europe, and the Action Force Z-Force command centers hard to get in America, just because they were sold in the different areas. Both sets are really hard to complete, especially if you're trying to buy the one that wasn't sold in your region. They've got loads of small pieces, and lots of those pieces are just simply damaged a lot over the years and are very, very fiddly and breakable. I'd love to know which set you prefer. Each set has some real positives and each set has some negatives. The GI Joe set obviously looks a lot like the GI Joe Command Center in the cartoon with the color scheme, and the Action Force one is very different. Obviously there's different aims here, because the GI Joe Command Center was trying to look like the one in the cartoon. The Action Force Command Center, it was based on comics and stories in the comics. It wasn't a TV show, so it didn't really need to look like the GI Joe cartoon anyway.
Box wise, we've already discussed, GI Joe wins hands down, because that box is brilliant. It looks awesome, big action picture, all the different figures. The Action Force box, on the other hand, is rather bland, with just a picture of the toy itself. I think both sets are good in their own right. I have to think how I would feel as a kid. So in my opinion, I'd have to side with the Action Force Command Center, purely for the fact that you get these two guys with it. As a kid, if I had a choice between the two, you get this set or this set, but this set you get two figures, I'd be going for the set with the two figures. Realistically, if you saw the boxes, you might go for the GI Joe set on their own, because that looks better.
I'd really like to know what you all think, but for me, the two extra figures really does it for me. And when deciding which one you'd prefer, like now, it would probably be the Action Force one because of these two figures. They're sought after, they're valuable now. Looking back as a kid, I think I'd prefer the place of the two figures as well. They're two figures that your other friends wouldn't have. It was an expensive set, they were hard to get. And ultimately, as a kid, you want to get as many toys as you can. It was a real travesty that the GI Joe headquarters command center didn't have figures. They could have even thrown some Cobras in just to go in the prison. I'm really not sure why they did that. If you know the answer, then please comment, because I'd love to know. I do quite like Gaucho and Jammer. They were released in the UK before Gung Ho and Stalker were. What do you think of them? Do you like them, or do you think they're just rubbish? You can read more about them and their backgrounds on my website, lexistoyloft.com. I'm really interested to know what you think. Is there a set that you prefer? Is there a set that you detest? Is there a color scheme that you just don't like? The figures, what do you think of Gaucho and Jammer? Are they pointless? Are they overpriced? Let me know your thoughts, and please comment below, because I'd be really interested to hear them. Thank you very much for watching this video and taking the time to come to my channel. Please subscribe. If you get a chance to do that, it'd be really appreciated. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, which will be huge for us. Please check out our website for free Action Force and GI Joe guides. It's lexistoyloft.com, and you can also access our vintage toy shop from there, which is cheaper than eBay. We've also got a Facebook group now where we also sell our vintage toys, so please check that out too if you get a chance. We do free giveaways and sell lots of cool stuff on there.